All right, so my name is Michael DeLu. Today is, let's see, let's check it out. Where's my calendar? Okay, today is Wednesday, June 9th, 2021. Again, my name is Michael DeLu. I'm recording live from Los Angeles, California. I want to give a big shout out to all the people who subscribed to my channel in the past 24 hours. I went from 72 subscribers to the last time I checked, I think I had like 289. Okay, so that's over 200 people subscribing to my channel in under 24 hours. Honestly, it's been under 24 hours. So shout out to you guys. I really do appreciate you guys for showing me love. Thank you very much. Like I'm gonna keep this shit rolling. Like for those of you guys who don't know, I really love sports and I'm gonna get this shit cracking. All right, for me. So appreciate y'all for tapping in from the TikTok video and and supporting and joining the movement. I'm gonna keep this shit rolling. I'm gonna keep the ball rolling on all this. If you love sports, if you love basketball, if you love football, if you love soccer, MMA, all of the above, tap in, subscribe, like this video, okay? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. All right. So I'm gonna get it going. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Utah Jazz beating the Los Angeles Clippers. So they won 112 to 109. And what I love to do is give credit to where credit is due. Donovan Mitchell scored 45 points, had 5 assists and 3 rebounds. He shot 16 of 30 from the field and 6 of 15 from 3. I know he took 15 threes. That's honestly a lot, but nevertheless they got the W. Jordan Clarkson added 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 of 18 from the field. Bogdanovich had 18 points as well, 2 rebounds, 6 of 14 from the field. I'm going to get into the Clippers box score, and I'm going to just get into what are the several things that stood out to me from the game. So Kawhi Leonard had 23 points, 7 rebounds, 9 of 19 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. And I'm going to keep it 100. Paul George turned into playoff P. Well, no, he didn't turn into. He came out as playoff P. At one point in the game, he was 1 for 11 from the field. He finished off 4 from 17, but at one point, he was 1 for 11 from the field. Paul George started off the game 1 for 11. 1 for 11. That's fucking pitiful. I don't never sugarcoat shit, especially not on the show. He was 1 for 11. 1 for 11. That's fucking terrible, okay? Get it. I want to say get it together, but then again, I already know the type of player he is. It's either he's gonna. There's really never any in between with Paul George. Either he's gonna play very good or play very bad. So if Paul George wasn't able to get to the free throw stripe, Paul George would have only accounted for 12 points. 12 points on 4 of 17 from the field. That's, again, like I said, that's fucking pitiful. But hey, nevertheless, it is what it is. So Paul George had 20 points and 10 rebounds. Luke Kennard, oh man, he played lights out. Honestly, gave it without Luke Kennard's incredible effort, which is crazy because Luke Kennard has barely played the entire playoffs. I from what I remember, he didn't even touch the fucking field, touch the fucking court in the first round. Luke Kennard went at 18 points, 2 rebounds, 7 of 9 from the field, and 4 of 6 from 3. Okay, so what really stood out to me is the in the first half, the Jazz came out flat and the Clippers came out hot. The Clippers at one point were up by, I think, like 14 or 15 points, which is honestly very, very surprising to me because of the simple fact that I just didn't. I mean, I wouldn't say it's too surprising because at the same time, I had to remember that the main reason why the Jazz came out rusty is because of the simple fact that they haven't played in almost a week. So they came out rusty, but down the stretch, their rust is their rust and the fact that they were well rested is what brought them down, what brought them the W down the stretch of the game. While it was quite obvious that you could tell that the Clippers like at a certain point in the fourth quarter ran out of gas, and that can be attributed to the fact that the Clippers have had to play. This is their eighth game in 18 days. Okay, so the Clippers are playing their 8th game in 18 days. That's already a lot of wear and tear and a lot of tread on the legs in this playoff run. And I'm gonna keep it 100. if the Clippers thought they were going to be able to, lose two games to start the series, and then still win the series in 7, that's not happening. That's not going to happen against the Jazz. That's not happening. That's not happening at all. No, that's not going to happen. They're fucking crazy. So if the Clippers do not win the next game, I'm telling you right now, this series is going to end in 5, max 5. One of the things that also stood out to me that kind of was like, a little concerning and just like a little worried me a little bit. Now I wouldn't say a lot, is the fact that at one point the Jazz missed 20 straight shots, 20 fucking shots. They missed 20 straight shots, and I think if I'm not mistaken, the Jazz went down by double digits at the end of the first half. But again, basketball as well as football is a tale of two halves. And thankfully there was a second half because Donovan Mitchell came out and was just on nut shit. Donovan Mitchell was on nut shit. Oh my Jesus. He had, like, if I'm not mistaken, he had 30-something in the second half. 32 in the second half. He had 32 in the second half, and honestly, man, but it didn't matter who they were throwing at him. Reggie Jackson, fucking Rajon Rondo, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, he was going to cook. I cook. I chef. All right, so he cooked. He did, like, it didn't, like, I seen his post-game interview. He told himself, he told his teammates he's going to come out aggressive in the second half, and that's exactly what the fuck he did. Salute to him. And with this performance, like, I like to group guys into 3 different categories. It's the dudes who hate pressure. So I put niggas like James Harden, Paul George, and so on and so forth into that. We all know who that is. The choke artists. We know who the fucking choke artists are. And then there's the guys who, they are their regular selves in the playoffs. And then there's guys who elevate in the playoffs, like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard. You know what I mean? Guys like that. And low-key, Donovan Mitchell is starting to play himself into that category. Because, like, honestly, like, I'm going to keep it 100. From Donovan's first playoff series to now, he just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better. I mean, last playoffs, he had a couple 40-point games. Right now, he's it. He's doing his shit. And one thing I want to point out that's very, very important, and one thing that's important to note, the Jazz haven't lost a game since Donovan Mitchell has come back into the starting lineup. They're 5-0 at this point. I look for them to go 6-0 the next time they play. And yeah, honestly, I don't think this series is going to be very competitive whatsoever. I think it's going to end in 5. At the most 6. It's not going to 7. The Jazz are going to win this series hands down. Paul George was a non-factor. I really want to point that out. Paul George was a non-factor. Like, don't let the fact that he scored 20 points fool you. In open play, he was not it at all. Nope whatsoever. And I know, and this isn't let's clown Paul George. I call it like I fucking see it. Paul George played terrible last night. At one point, I'm going to say it again. He was 1 for 11 from the field and then finished off 4 from 17 from the field. I rest my case. This is not the Mavericks because Donovan Mitchell has a better supporting cast than Luka Doncic, all right? So if y'all think if the Clippers think they could go down 2-0 in this series and then win 4 of the next 5, that's not happening. Not happening whatsoever. But great game overall. I'm happy the Jazz were able to pull out the W because I don't fuck with the Clippers. Fuck the Clippers. If I'm being 100, fuck the Clippers. I'm gonna say it again. Fuck the Clippers. I fucking hate the Clippers. The Clippers can eat a dick. In my opinion, if I had it my way, the Clippers would not be in Los Angeles. The Clippers need to move to fucking Riverside or Anaheim or San Diego. I don't know. Just get the fuck out of Los Angeles. That's my personal opinion. But let me get to my next game because there's another game that I would like to react to right now. And that's the Sixers beating the Hawks. And they even up the series 1-1. So the Sixers beat the Hawks 118 to 102. And Joel Embiid had a fucking monster game. When I say monster, I mean a monster game. Like Joel Embiid couldn't be stopped whatsoever, like at all. Joel Embiid had 40 points, 13 rebounds. He went 13 of 25 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Tobias Harris poured in 22 points, as I said as well. Tobias Harris poured in 22 points. He had 6 rebounds, 11 of 19 from the field. Extremely efficient night for him. Seth Curry, 21 points, 2 assists, 8 of 13 from the field, 5 of 6 from 3. He was stroking that shit from deep. And Shake Milton poured in 14 points off the bench and 3 assists, 5 of 8 from the field, and 4 of 5 from 3. Trae Young, honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100. I was not impressed with Trae Young's performance whatsoever. Like not even the slightest bit. He poured in 21 points, one assist, Trae, for real. That's not it. He was 6 of 16 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. That's not it as well. Danilo Gallinari had 21 points, 7 of 15 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3. Kevin Huerter had 20 points, 8 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. Bogdan Bogdanovic had 14 points, 6 of 16 from the field, and 2 of 6 from 3. And let me be the first to say, one, everything that they are doing on Trae Young is working. Because in the first half of game 1, I feel like this this series has already been like kind of, I wouldn't say summed up, but it's the first half and then everything then on, because Trae Young was a non-factor in the second half of game 1, and he was kind of a non-factor in this game as well. Trae Young in game 1, the first half, he had 25 points and he was 4 of 7 from 3. All right. The second half of game 1, he had 10 points and he was 0 of 4 from 3. In game 2, he was 1 of 7 from 3. So since Ben Simmons was switched onto him as the primary defender, he's shot 1 of 11 from 3. 1 of 11 from 3. So since Ben Simmons and Matisse Thybulle have been assigned to be the primary defender for Trae Young, he's been 1 of 11 from 3. Okay, and let me be the first to say, salute to you, Doc Rivers, for getting Danny Green the fuck off of Trae Young. He had no business guarding Trae Young whatsoever. No business whatsoever. He had no business guarding Trae Young whatsoever. And Nate McMillan's probably like, fuck. I wish he would have kept that old ass thing on Trae Young, because Trae would have kept cooking his ass. I chef. But Doc Rivers has common sense, and he realized, okay, that's gonna get us nowhere. And Trae needs to get aggressive. Trae needs to figure it out, because in the game I watched, he looked stifled. He looked confused. They were throwing hella people at him, and hella different bodies, and he just never really was able to get into like a consistent rhythm. And then also 1 assist. First of all, I was about to say the Falcons. The Hawks are not going to win any games. The Hawks are not going to win any games at all if Trae Young is shooting like that from 3 at all. Like, the 3-point shot is Trae Young's better brother. If he can't get that going, yeah, just throw this series away. And then 1 assist. Trae Young needs to get Trae Young needs to get his teammates involved, and needs to pick that up, because that's not going to win any games at all. He's a starting point guard playing in a playoff series, and he only put up 1 assist in a game. That's not going to cut it. At all. But I'm gonna keep it 100. Give credit to where credit is due. Shout out to the Sixers defense, because they came to play. All right. Another thing I want to say is Doc Rivers needs to figure out who his top 8 is, and I'm gonna give him some help, because it seems like sometimes he can struggle with picking up figuring out who his best rotation is. It's your starting 5: Dwight Howard, Matisse Thybulle, and it's either Shake Milton or Tyrese Halliburton or George Hill. So pick one of those 3 guards and then just roll with them, because look, they, regardless of what the final score might say, the Sixers struggle with their bench. Their bench the bench the past 2 games has been fucking pitiful. The reason why they lost game 1 is because the bench scoring was so fucking weak, and once the bench got put into the game during the first quarter, they got steamrolled by like 14 points. And at one point in this game, their bench got outscored 32-0. Okay, that cannot happen against Brooklyn or Milwaukee in the next round. When they make it to the next round, okay? They need to play their best players for extended minutes if they even have a chance to beat Brooklyn, okay? So they need to figure that out. And then the next thing I want to point out too is Joel Embiid, man. Joel Embiid is a fucking nigga. Jesus, man. He's playing like a man amongst boys, man. Joel Embiid, check this out. This is crazy. I don't know if people really know this. Joel Embiid has scored 175 points in the 2021 playoffs, and he has played 168 minutes. This is common and basic math. He has scored more points than minutes that he's been on the floor. Okay, that is incredible. And he's and also in the process has shot 61% from the field. Okay, so his game average right now is 33.4 points per game. Okay, so he is eating. He is a man amongst boys. He is playing like the dominant player that he is. He's finally got his fucking shit together, which is good to see because the last time I saw Joel Embiid in a playoff series, he went out like a fucking chump, okay? That shit was bad. The last time I saw Joel Embiid in the playoffs was last year in the bubble against the Celtics, and he went out terrible. He just it just looked bad. I couldn't believe that they were playing like it didn't really make sense how bad they were playing, just because of the simple fact that they didn't have Ben Simmons. Because I mean, Ben Simmons is such a big deal. Like, come on now, that's crazy to think for me. But hey, it is what it is. It's good to see that the Sixers are getting it together, because yeah, they are a good team. They were the number one team in the East in the regular season, and they need to play like it and be more assertive and be more dominant, like the dominant team they are. They have a lot of great pieces. Excluding Ben Simmons, I'm not a big fan of Ben Simmons whatsoever, like at all. Like I'm not a big. I mean, Ben Simmons. Maybe not even get into that. Ben Simmons is just Ben Simmons. I don't think he's big. I don't think he's special. But hey, it is what it is. That's just my personal opinion. Don't let my personal opinion sway you. I mean, he does. I don't know. And the last thing I want to talk about on today's podcast is Nikola Jokic. So yesterday he was named the MVP of the Kia 2020-2021 NBA MVP. And he is the first center to do it since Shaq's 1999-2000 season. So it's been 21 years since that happened. And he is also the first ever player that was drafted in the second round to win the Kia NBA MVP. So I really want to give a big shout out and big salute to him, because honestly, like I've seen his progression from day one to when he first came into the league to what he is now, and honestly, salute to him, bravo, props to him. He fully deserved it and he fully earned it. He won this shit honestly on a landslide. Like, it wasn't even close. He got 91 of the 100 first team votes. 91 of the 100 first team votes. That's honestly a lot for those of you guys who, I wouldn't say for those of you guys who don't know, but that's like hell of a lot of points, considering like what it was like what's the shit called? What it was made out to be. Like, it seemed like people were trying to argue that it was a closer race, that Steph Curry or no. Fuck no. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, he played all 72 games. He averaged 26.4, 10.8 rebounds, and 8.3 assists. Okay, those were his numbers that got him the MVP. And I want to say, I could if this award would have went to anyone else, this would have been a travesty. We would have got deceived. We would have got lied to. And no, that should have never happened. Okay, what happened? What happened? What should have happened. Okay, so salute to the voters for getting that right. And one of the things I also want to point out is just a testament to how healthy Joker was this season and how consistent he was. Let's be honest. There were, like, this season, unlike others, there were so many front runners for the MVP, and I'm gonna go through all of them. At one point, KD started off the season playing incredible. Then he started missing a bunch of games. At one point, Kyrie started off the season very hot, then started missing a bunch of games. At one point, when James Harden first got to the Nets, started off the season very hot. Started off with the Nets very hot. Then started missing a lot of games. At one point, LeBron started the season great. Then he missed a bunch of games. Joel Embiid, same thing. Started off the season hot, then missed a bunch of games. Stephen Curry caught fire down the stretch. And yeah, and then that's how he was a finalist. So Joker outlasted all these individuals. He dominated every single night. He didn't take a day off. He didn't take a play off. He worked his ass off on both ends of the floor. And he is the Kia NBA 2020-2021 MVP. So salute to him. Shout out to him. I can't wait to see him in action later today. And that concludes episode, is this 57 or 58? I'm not too sure off the top of my head. Let me see right now. Let's see. And that concludes episode 57 of Pull Up the Tape. All right. So once again, I want to salute everybody who supported, who's liked, who subscribed, who supported the dream and the vision of my channel in the past 24 hours. I genuinely do appreciate it. It does mean a lot. This is the most traction and the most attention I've gotten since I started my YouTube journey to try and get to the point where I'm making a living off just talking sports behind a camera, in front of a camera, however you want to spin it. Thank you very much to everyone. Shout out to TikTok, man. This shit is really changing my life. And viral movie, pal. Like I got so much more to come. Like this is only the beginning. Continue to share my last video with Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, continue to share that. Continue to like that. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video. And thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope everyone stays blessed. Bow! Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Whoa!